Work hard and you will succeed. Save your money in the bank. Rich people are lucky. If your parents told you any of these things, with all the love in the world, they lied to you. And not because they're bad people, but because they too were deceived by the same system that is now keeping you poor. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 lies about money that you were taught as a child and how the truth can literally change your financial life. Especially lie number 3. That one literally cost me 10 years of my life. But first, you need to understand where these lies come from. Before you think, no, my parents wouldn't lie to me, let me clarify something. Your parents taught you what they knew, what their parents taught them, what worked in their day. The problem is that the world has changed, the economy has changed, the rules of money have changed. But that advice has been frozen in time. Think about it. In the 70s and 80s, you could get a job at a company, stay there for 30 years, retire with a decent pension, and live well. Today, pensions are disappearing, jobs are no longer secure, and inflation is destroying everything you save. So your parents gave you well-intentioned advice based on a world that no longer exists. And if you follow that advice today, you'll end up exactly where they are, struggling financially. It sounds harsh, I know, but it's the truth. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal 5 of the most damaging lies you were probably taught. More importantly, I'm going to show you what to do instead. So if you really want to get ahead financially, stick around until the end, because lie number 5 is what keeps 95% of people stuck in the rat race. Lie number 1, work hard and you'll succeed. This is probably the most common lie and the most dangerous, because it has a grain of truth that makes it believable. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't work hard. Hard work is important, but here's the problem. Working hard is not enough, and worse, if you work hard in the wrong direction, you're just going to get to the wrong place faster. Let me give you a real example. I know people who work 60, 70 hours a week. They get up at 5 a.m. and get home at 8 p.m. They work harder than anyone I know. And you know what? They still live paycheck to paycheck because they're working hard, but they're working for money. They're not making money work for them. The truth that no one tells you is this: rich people don't work harder than you, they work smarter, and there's a huge difference. While you trade your time for money at a job, they are building systems, they are investing, they're creating assets that generate money while they sleep. Think about it this way: if you work hard at a regular job, you earn money, but the moment you stop working, you stop earning. That's not financial freedom, that's being a slave to your time. The truth is you don't need to work harder. You need to work on things that pay you even when you're not working. Investments, businesses, assets that generate passive income. And before you say, but that's for people with money, I'm going to show you in line number 4 how to start with literally 0. But first, line number 2, your home is your best investment. This one is going to upset a lot of people, especially your parents. But hear me out. Your parents told you, buy a house as soon as possible. It's the best investment you can make. It's your equity. And literally millions of people have followed this advice and ended up financially trapped. Now, get this. I'm not saying never buy a house. I'm saying the house you live in is not an investment. It's an expense. Let me explain why. An investment is something that puts money in your pocket. The house you live in takes money out of your pocket every month. Think about it. Mortgage, $1,500 per month, taxes, $300 per month, maintenance, $200 per month, insurance, $100 per month, repairs, who knows how much. That's over $2,000 per month going out of your pocket, not in. By definition, that's not an investment. It's a liability. But wait, you're going to say, the house goes up in value. Yes, it may. But let me ask you something. Is that increase in value paying your bills right now? No, it's tied up in the house. And worse, if you sold your house to get that money out, where would you live? You'd have to buy another house that probably also went up in price. So what good did that do you? The truth? A real estate investment is a property you rent out. That puts money in your pocket every month. That's an investment. The house you live in,
Buy that when you can easily afford it, when you already have enough investments that generate passive income. Don't sacrifice your financial future to have a big house now. And speaking of sacrificing your future for present decisions, that brings me to lie number 3. This one hurt me personally.
Lie number 3. Go to university and get a good job.
This one hurts me the most because I followed this advice to the letter, and it cost me 10 years of my life and $40,000 in student loan debt. My parents, like yours probably, told me,
"Son, you have to go to the university. It's the only way to have a good future. Without a degree, you're nobody."
So I went into debt, I studied for 4 years, I got my degree, and you know what happened? I got a job where I earned $35,000 a year while paying $400 a month in student loans for the next 10 years. Do the math with me. $40,000 in debt, $400 a month for 10 years, that's $48,000 I paid, $8,000 in interest, and all for a $35,000 a year job that a 19-year-old YouTuber without a degree was making in a month.
Now, mind you, I'm not saying university is bad for everyone. If you want to be a doctor, engineer, lawyer, yes, you need that degree. But for 80% of degrees, honestly, it's a waste of time and money. Let me tell you something they never taught you in school. The average salary for a university graduate in the United States is $55,000 a year. Do you know how much a certified plumber makes? $60,000 a year. And plumbers don't have student loans.
But here's the crazy part. Do you know how much someone who learns digital marketing on their own on YouTube makes? Or online programming? Or someone who starts an e-commerce business? They can earn $100,000, $200,000, even more. No debt, no wasting 4 years of their life, starting to generate income from day one.
The truth? The university is no longer the only path to success. In fact, for many people, it is the path to debt. Today, you can learn any skill online for free or at a fraction of the cost. If I were 18 today, I wouldn't go to the university. I would invest that time and money in learning skills that actually generate income. Digital marketing, programming, sales, content creation, things you can monetize immediately.
But anyway, I've talked about this one a lot. Let's move on to the next lie. And this one is important because it affects your day-to-day life.
Lie number 4. You can't invest if you don't have a lot of money. This lie is the perfect excuse to never get started. And your parents probably told you this without meaning to. Investing is for rich people. We don't have enough money for that. But here's the truth that nobody tells you. Rich people didn't invest because they had money. They have money because they invested. Read that again. It's not the other way around. They didn't wait to be rich to invest. They invested small amounts consistently, and that made them rich. Let me give you real examples of how you can start investing today, even if you only have $50 a month. Number 1, low-cost index funds. You can open an account on platforms such as Vanguard or Fidelity with just $50 and buy fractions of index funds. If you invest $50 per month for 30 years with an average return of 8%, you would have more than $75,000. That's not a small amount of money. Number 2, invest in yourself. This is the investment with the highest ROI of all. Take an online course that teaches you a valuable skill, digital marketing, programming, video editing, whatever. That might cost you $100 to $500, but that skill could earn you an extra $50,000 a year. That's a 10,000% return. No stock is going to give you that. Number 3, start a side hustle. With $0, you can start creating content on social media. With $100, you can start a print-on-demand business. With $500, you can buy inventory to resell. You don't need thousands of dollars. You need to get started. The problem isn't that you don't have money to invest. The problem is that you don't prioritize investing. If you can afford Netflix, Disney+, Spotify, weekend outings, you can invest $50 a month. It's a choice. The truth is, you don't need to be rich to start investing. You need to start investing to become rich. Even $20 a month, invested consistently, will change your life in 10, 20, 30 years. And that brings me to the last lie, the most dangerous one of all, because this is the one that keeps most people working until they're 65 and waiting to live after they retire. Lie number 5. Retire at 65 and you'll live comfortably. This is the ultimate lie, the biggest one, the one that sustains the entire system, and it's the reason why millions of people are working in jobs they hate, waiting to turn 65 so they can finally live. Your parents told you, work 40 years, save for retirement, and at 65 you can enjoy life. But let me ask you an uncomfortable question. How many people do you know who retired at 65 and are living the life they dreamed of? Honestly, how many? Most people I know who reached 65 are struggling because pensions are almost non-existent, because Social Security isn't enough, because inflation destroyed their savings, and because at 65 they no longer have the health or energy to enjoy the money they do have. Here's the brutal truth that no one wants to tell you. The retire at 65 system was designed in the 1930s when life expectancy was 58 years old. It was a system where almost no one got to collect their retirement.
Today, we live to be 80, 90 years old, but we continue to use the same broken system, and expecting it to work is crazy. Let me ask you something else. Do you really want to wait 40 years to start living? Do you want to give the best years of your life to a boss, to a company that can fire you tomorrow, just so you might be able to enjoy yourself when you're old? Because that's what you're doing if you follow the traditional plan. You're betting your entire life that a broken system will take care of you when you're 65, and the odds are not in your favor. The truth? Don't wait until 65. Build multiple sources of income now. Create assets that generate passive income. Invest aggressively in your 20s and 30s so you can retire at 40, 45, 50 when you still have the health and energy to enjoy life. Retirement isn't an age, it's a number. It's when your passive income covers your expenses, and you can get there at 35 if you make the right decisions now. So there you have it. 5 lies about money that your parents probably taught you. And again, I'm not blaming them. They did the best they could with the information they had. But you no longer have that excuse. Now you know the truth, and knowing the truth, you have a decision to make. You can keep doing what you've always done. Follow the same advice that led your parents and millions of others into financial struggle, and you'll probably end up in the same place they did. Or you can make a different choice. You can reject those lies. You can learn the new rules of money, and you can build a completely different financial future. It won't be easy. You're going to have to go against what you were taught. You're going to have to take risks. You're going to have to learn new things. Some people, even your family, won't understand your decisions, but that's the price of financial freedom. And I promise you it's worth it. So here's your assignment. Choose one of these lies, just one, and this week, take one action to break it. Lie number 1, spend 30 minutes researching how to create passive income. Lie number 4, open an investment account and put in at least $20. Lie number 5, calculate how much you need to retire early and start making a plan. Just one action. That's all you need to start changing your financial life. And let me tell you something else. People who are financially well off today are no smarter than you. They weren't born with more advantages. The only difference is that they rejected the lies faster than you did. But it's never too late. If you're 20, 30, 40, even 50 years old, you can still change your financial future. You just need to get started. If this video opened your eyes, like it so YouTube will show it to more people who need to hear this. And subscribe because I'm going to keep busting myths about money that no one else dares to touch. And if you want to know exactly why saving no longer works in 2026 and what to do instead, check out this video here. It's going to blow your mind. See you in the next one. And remember, don't believe everything you were taught. Question, learn, and take control of your money.